We got to talk about who is going to get that final spot. All the top 6 seeds, they have 5 wins. That's why we distinguished it. But then that 7th seed, it could go to a plethora of different teams. Yes, that's an SAT word. Anyway, coming out to you, Shady McCoy first. Who do you see getting that 7th seed spot? Is it the Chargers, Bengals, Colts, Browns, Broncos? Where you at?
I got the Colts still in that spot. I really do. Yeah, hear me out. Top 10 defense. They get JT back. Jonathan Taylor, he's coming back. And then Shaq Leonard.
Yeah, Shaq Leonard.
Shaq Leonard just came back. So they want to win. If you watch the last couple of games, like they've been losing by a flying pass, fourth quarter, 15 seconds left. Like they're battling, they're playing good ball.
Let me ask you this, though. Remember, they are starting former Texas quarterback Sam Ehlinger. He is a second-year quarterback, I believe. What do you think about the fact that they're committed to him for the rest of the season?
You know what I love about that? Matt Ryan, who we all think has had a great career, very solid career. We talked about the money thing. They just paid this dude, but look, we trying to win now. Yeah. He's not playing good. We're going to put his old on the bench, right? Put the young boy in and let him play. So that shows that they want to play. That shows you they're still competing.
Keep in mind, Colts fans, Jonathan Taylor not practicing, at least not yesterday. He re-aggravated that ankle injury, forced him to miss 2 games. Joy, coming to you, 7th spot. It's wide open. Who do you think takes it?
I say this very reluctantly, but the Browns are kind of sneaky. They're kind of sneaky. Now, they're going to lose the next 2 games because they play the Dolphins and the Bills.
Damn.
But then it gets a little lighter, and they're getting Watson back against the Texans. And from there, if they can hang on, I could see them finishing the season out strong, and I can make arguments against all of these other teams why it's not going to go that way. The end of their season is obviously the Ravens, but Joe Burrow's never beaten the Browns, and outside of the Ravens, that's a light schedule for the rest of the year after he gets back.
NFL's so crazy. Deshaun Watson comes back and he's playing the Texans. They know what they be doing.
Oh yeah, that was maybe a little bit on purpose if I had to guess.
Dave Helman, who you think gets that final spot?
Okay, I'm glad you said it. I want to make, not to be mean, but like. The Jets were just locking in. Come on. They still haven't played the Bills. They still got to play the Vikings and the Patriots again. They got the Seahawks. Like, I'm not writing the Jets in Sharpie into the playoffs. But for the purposes of this, I'll say the Bengals, and I don't feel good about it after that game. But think about what this season has been for the Bengals. Like, they looked awful for the first 2 weeks. They slowly started getting it figured out. I understand Jamar Chase is not there. That's a big deal. They lost him at the tail end of last week. They do still have Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. Joe Mixon really not having a wonderful season. The running game is not there, but they have time to figure it out. They figured it out before and were rolling when Chase got hurt. With the amount of talent that they have and Joe Burrow, who has proven he doesn't need a great offensive line to get things going, I'm not saying they're going to, win out. But remember, they were mediocre right up until December last year, and that's when they caught fire. I don't know if it'll be that magical this year, but I trust them to get it done enough to squeak into the playoffs.
I'll keep it quick because I'm with you. I like the Bengals as well, mainly because of Joe. I do. I like the Bengals because of Joe Burrow. I like the Bengals because at the end of the day, if you got Burrow and you've been there before, and Jamar Chase will come back, they didn't put him on IR for a reason. That's why I like him, but you don't. Why not?
What did I tell you guys?
That they wouldn't make the playoffs.
All right, so I'm sticking to it. I look right so far, right?
In theory.
I mean, they're 4-4.
4-4. Joy, let me come to you real quick. We got a few seconds left, a minute left. Talk about the Browns a little bit more. They did have a big win over the Bengals just a couple days ago. You really think they can hang in the fight long enough? Because Deshaun would have to come back, and they might have to run the table to get in.
Yeah, and that's asking a lot because it's been a while since he's played NFL football. So you might even see them be a little shaky. But if they don't, and they do run the table, and they do win, I don't have their schedule up, but I know after the Dolphins and Bills, I believe they played the Bucks, and then
They got the Saints, they got the
Bucks,
Commanders,
and then they have,
Steelers.
That's the end of the season. I'm saying over the next few games, if we can get the schedule. I don't know if we're going to get it. But my point is, if they can hang on, it depends on how the rest of these seasons are going to go. I would say the Bengals. I love Joe Burrow. But they are going to be without Jamar Chase for several more weeks.
Yep.
And they just lost Awuzie as well.
True.
For the year. That's a big loss.
Yeah.
So, to me, the Bengals have a lot more going on right now than they did at this point last year, which is why I give hesitation. Now, obviously, we're disregarding the Broncos, and we haven't mentioned the Patriots
division
either.
matters.
And no one's talking about the Chargers. Yeah. But, yeah, the division must matter.
It will be interesting. Jamar Chase, I need you to get on that DK Metcalf healing plan. Coming up, we have some family business to
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.